The introduction of the Director Identification Number, or the DIN, is part of the government's modernisation of business registers program. It's designed to create one source of truth across government agencies for individuals and entities, and will be managed by the Australian Taxation Office. Look, who needs a director ID? All directors of a company, registered Australian body, registered foreign company or Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander corporation will need a director ID. And look, importantly, this includes a director of a corporate trustee of a self-managed super fund as well. So the timeframes for registration, under the Corporations Act, if you're a director under an Australian company and you became a director on or before 31st of October 2021, so this year, you must apply for your DIN before 30 November 2022. If you become a director between 1 November 21 and the 4th of April 2022, you've got to apply for your DIN within 28 days of your appointment. But then following 5th of April 2022, a change in the way we're all used to dealing with all of setting up companies and being a director is you'll need to apply for your DIN before you are appointed as a director. Okay, so for those other types of bodies, on or before 31 October 2022, you've got till 30 November 2023. And from 1 November 2022, so from now on, if you're a new director to one of those other organisations, you'll need to apply before your appointment. Look, if you're an Australian resident director, you'll need to complete a number of steps and have a number of identification documents available and ready. All right, so if you establish your director ID online, which most people will, and you have not already set up your MyGov ID, you'll need to download the app onto your phone or device and create an account. Now, that's not your MyGov. I'm talking about a MyGov ID, which is something different to the MyGov account. Okay. Now, the MyGov ID doesn't create your director ID or your DIN. Okay. The app's only purpose is to validate your identity. Now, once you've set up your MyGov ID, you will need to apply to the Australian Business Registry Services, the ABRS, okay, for your director ID. Once complete, and look, you get all the normal documentation and proof of ID that you're familiar with, you'll need access to, all right? Tax file number, maybe a notice of assessment, bank account, statement, passport, all those things will get you there. Once complete, your director ID will be issued immediately on screen. I've seen it done and I've done it myself, and it's relatively straightforward. But look, don't get frustrated. Just treat it like all things that can be formal and sort of legal and in these documentation and ID formats. It can be frustrating. It can take time. Just try it again. But look, it is important and it's not something you should ignore. If you're a foreign director of an Australian company, you've got the same requirements and the same deadlines as Australian residents. However, the verification process is only accessible in paper form. All right. So look, that's the DIN in really brief summary. But the most important thing I think out of all this is just remember again, always come back to, it's important that anyone agreeing to be a director, you need to understand the implications of that. Being a director is not just a title, it's a responsibility. All right. So don't forget, failure to perform your duties as a director is a criminal offence, and ignorance isn't a legal defence. So don't sign anything unless you understand the consequences. And finally, look, if you're having trouble with this, okay, our team here, if you can be patient, our team will be able to assist you between now and Christmas, and particularly probably more so into the new year. Okay, thanks everyone.